Ayan, natingnan pa natin yung ibang statement. Napakaganda noong statement na yon ni Attorney Torion. Tingnan pa natin yung iba pa niyang mga napansin diyan sa hearing.
Hindi ko alam kung sino sasagot. Yung nga kanina, sinabi ko na rin kanina, hindi namin alam, merong possibility na yung mga testigo na nagsalita kanina, baka gamitin na testigo dun sa mga kaso sa husgado. Kasi meron pa kaming issues doon. Ayoko na i-discuss yung merits. Kasi merong unidentified witnesses. Baka sila yon. So, hindi namin alam. So, mahirap ding pag-usapan namin kung kapani-paniwala ba o hindi yung mga sinasabi nila. Gaya na sinabi ni Atty. Torion kanina, ang advantage lang natin is kung gamitin man sila, narinig na namin kung ano yung gusto nilang
Ayun nga. So, again doon sa ikinakaso kay Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, nung chinek din ako sino yung mga witnesses, who are the witnesses, and you need to know kung ano ba yung mga nalalaman nito witnesses against you so that you can counter whatever information yung alam mong sasabihin nila against you. So, meron daw doon na mga unidentified na mga testigo. Sabi nga nila, if yung sa mga kaso namin, ito yung mga unidentified na mga testigo nila, putang inang yan. Tapos na laban, sabi nga nila, tapos na boxing. Dahil kung ito yung mga testigo nilang secret at puro hearsay lang yung meron sila, we can break them in the court.
Sasabihin nila. So makakapag-prepare kami ng mabuti para sa cross-examination nila, or meron ding mga testigong pwedeng ipresenta na para ma-counter yung nila. Pero mahirap na pag-usapan yung merits ng kanilang mga sinabi kanina dahil nga posibleng gamitin silang testigo dun sa kaso sa husgado. No? Yun yung mga... Kasi nga, di ba?
At if itong mga tokmol na ito gagawing testigo sa Senado, checkmate na sila. Why? They cannot change their testimonies anymore. Kasi under oath sila dito sa Senate. So, public information and document naman na yung mga sinabi nila dito. You can actually request Senate to provide you a transcript of yung mga pinagsasabi nitong mga tolonges na to dito. Pagdating sa korte at nagbago yung kanilang mga kwento doon kumpara dito, puta, tapos na usapan. Tapos na boxing.
Unidentified. Tapos, meron pa kaming mga pending issues regarding yung unidentified witnesses. Ayaw naman namin pag-usapan yung merits nun kasi nga tatamaan tayo ng sub judice rule.
Ito ngang medyo medyo alakanse kami kasi the detractors against Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy can actually have their letter published in the newspapers, and then on our part we have a hard time what to decide whether or not we will respond to it, because we know as lawyers we could not talk about the merits of the case, no? Now, with respect to your question po, sir, sa nakikita ko po kanina ay sa tingin ko pabor na pabor sa amin yon, kasi wala talagang relevance yung mga testimony nila doon sa kaso po na hinaharap po ni Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy, no? So I would like to believe that they may be listed as witnesses, but even the prosecutors themselves would have a hard time presenting them, knowing that there is a problem as to its relevance and materiality in proving the guilt of Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy over the particular complaint of Blenda Portugal. So yun po ang magiging problema po ng prosecutor po dyan.
We protect an innocent person na maging biktima ng trial by publicity.
Yan yung kaya may sub judice rule supposedly. That's sorry doon ako nakatingin sa yun yung reason kung bakit may sub judice rule, no? Ang sub judice is, ang ibig sabihin lang, it's under the court or under litigation. So bawal talaga na supposedly mag-discuss ng merits ng kaso kung yung kaso nasa hukom mo na. Ang reason for that is precisely to avoid trial by publicity. Yung nga, sana in an ideal world, in a perfect world, people follow the rules. Wala sanang ganon, ano? Pero alam naman nating lahat, hindi naman tayo naive na yun na nga, nangyayari yung ganon na pinapublish sa or may mga ganon na nagpipresenta ng iba-ibang testigo, wala kang right na magpresenta ng countervailing evidence o yung laban na ebidensya, wala kang right na mag-cross-examine, wala kang right yung mga abogadong magsalita minsan. So, kami, tali yung kamay namin eh. Pero yung kabila, supposedly tali din. Kasi nga, sinasabi natin kanina, gaya ng in-emphasize ni Senator Tolentino, it's not supposed to be, hindi dapat manghusga ng tao sa hearing in aid of legislation. Pero, dapat sana as high-ranking officers of our government, they're supposed to be held to a higher degree of compliance, no? Pagsunod sa ating kung sa Constitution, pagsunod sa purpose ng hearing that is in aid of legislation. Ang ganda nga ng pagkaka-explain talaga ni Senator Tolentino kanina. Ayoko na lang sabihin kung kanino siya nakatingin nung habang sinasabi niya.
Okay.
I think it was dedicated for somebody sa tingin ko, because his statements really are very important, and it emphasizes the fundamental rights that we have, everyone, especially if you are a senator of the land. How do we enforce our right to be protected against publicized trial? Invoke it, which we did by filing the appropriate petition in the Supreme Court. And that is even pending. And we cited that likewise in the motion for reconsideration that we filed before the Regional Trial Court. Alam mo, yung aming motion, aming opposition doon sa request ni Senator Hontiveros, ang ganda po pagkagawa, no? May mga Supreme Court decisions pa tayo galing sa United States of America, but we respect the decision of the presiding judge, no? And there was even a discussion during the hearing, which I will not anymore discuss this or quote this here. But it gave us the impression na sana yun, pero iba ang nangyari. But in the motion for reconsideration, that's precisely one of the reasons that we cited, because it's grossly unfair on the part of the accused to be subjected to that publicized trial which just happened. Kung hindi lang magaling si pastor, no? Masyadong prejudicial yung mga questions. Biruin mo, not even one resource persons came from our side. And all the rest of the resource persons are in favor of the accusers. Di ba? And then, wala man lang mention about the abuses committed against the KOJC. 16 days ka doon ni isang tao, wala man lang nag-surrender sa'yo. Tapos magsasabi ka na naman uli na we still have the plan, to visit them again because the investigation is continuing. My golly, you have been there for 16 days. Meron daw nag-surrender sa'yo on the first or second day.
So expect nyo na yun, na there will be another attempt to yung kubkubin itong Kingdom of Jesus Christ, because again, probably the reason why itong si General lagay dyan sa CIDG to continue what he started. So siguro baka talagang whoever is the receiver of this Region 11 directorship, ito talaga yung ino-offer sa kanilang siguro ito yung mga ino-offer na pabuya sa kanila. So syempre CIDG is buong Pilipinas na yan. And nakita nyo naman kanina, conniving with Colonel Marantan, na bumubuo na naman sila ng panibagong haka-haka nila tungkol sa Angel of Death. And at the same time, sinasabi pa nga nila, 200 babae na daw ang nachok-chak ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Talaga namang nakakatawa yan. And konektado daw talaga itong mga nangyayari dito, gawain ng KOJC sa EJK. Putang ina niyan. Isip mo naman yan, di ba? May co-connect pa nila doon. So, ganito kaloko-loko itong mga to. Ibang klase talaga. So, malamang sa malamang, magkakaroon na naman ng attempt para itong gobyerno na ito ay kubkubin na naman niyang yaang KOJC at hindi natin alam kung ano na naman ang balak at plano nilang gawin dyan.
Pasok ka, akala mo, qualified human trafficking. Hindi pala. Ngayon, bala ka naman, you are still undergoing investigation because there are still victims there. Niwala man lang one member. We have 7 million members and there were more than...
Exactly, ha? Nandun po tayo. Hindi po nagsisinungaling ang mga lente ng camera natin. Our live streams are archived sa YouTube. Balikan nyo na lang. Bukas ang gate ng KOJC. Anyone can go in and out nang walang restrictions. The cops are there, 4,000, 5,000 of them, stationed there for 16 days. Nobody pumunta sa kanila at magsumbong, "Sir, iligtas nyo ako kasi inaano ako. Kinukulong ako dito or pinahihirapan ako dito. Gusto ko na pong bumalik sa pamilya ko." Wala ni isa. Again, delegates from the US pumunta sa Pilipinas, delegates from Canada, from Hong Kong, from Malaysia, from Dubai, from Japan, from Australia, at kung saan-saan pa, pumunta sa KOJC para magbantay. Para magbantay. So yung sinasabi nila ng mga biktima ng human trafficking, sa 16 days na nandoon sila, napakatanga na maniwala ka na may mga biktima ng human trafficking during yung period of time na yun. Because they could have just, came out of the open or lumabas sila doon sa gate. Because anytime they want, yun yung opportunity nila to go out kung kinukulong sila doon. But nada, wala pong gumawa nun. Why? Kasi walang ganun, General Torre. Wala pong ganun.
More than thousands members there who were present during the 16-day siege. Not even one was invited. So, and only the side of the complainants were there. Well, if you are a senator of the Republic, with due respect to the good senator who headed that investigation, you should at least give the semblance of fairness. To my mind, with all honesty, even the semblance was not there. No, there was even no mention about the pendency of the motion for reconsideration that we filed, and that is precisely the reason why we had that. We were anxious about the hearing because it might be so one-sided. There was even prejudgment. It was the only hearing in the world that I have attended in my more than 26 years of lawyering where a promulgation of judgment was finished his testimony. In that, wala pang 1 minute, meron na siyang promulgation of judgment. No?
Prepared.
Parang promulgation yun eh. Tapos may mga declarations na siya doon na para bang pinako na niya sa krus si Pastor Apollo, si Kibuloy, na wala man lang kaming karapatan na cross-examine doon sa kanilang mga witness. Hindi nga kami makapagsalita because the Senate Rules of Investigation prohibit us from even talking or being made as resource persons. And that is grossly unfair if a person is made a resource person and he is already an accused in a particular case. And that is precisely the danger that we were afraid of. Pero magaling si Pastor eh. Maganda pagkasagot niya. So yung danger, naging advantage sa amin. Anong advantage? Alam na namin lahat kung anong mga testimonya nila. So thank you very much. Alhamdulillah.
Jonard Bulangis, bakit hindi din nila kami tanungin kung gaano kami kasaya dito sa loob ng KOJC? Ayun na nga, Jonard Bulangis. One line mo naman, yung susunod na hearing. Si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy na yung magpre-preside, di ba? Siya na yung mag-chair ng susunod na yung committee na yan. O, di ba? Malay mo naman, mabigyan din kayo ng opportunity to speak.
mapalak